everyone and welcome back to Bardsung, the Chapter 4 beginning, Halls of the Dead. And for anyone watching this long after the fact or watching the playlist, no, you didn't skip a video. We have gone from Chapter 1 to Chapter 4. Bardsung doesn't do a normal progression of like Chapter 1, Chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Depending on your choices, the routes you take, and decisions you make in general, you go through the book in a different order, and that's why it's kind of different every time, and why even if you're playing your own campaign, it might end up different to mine. The very first choice you make in the game after finishing the tutorial decides whether or not you go to Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 to start with, so it can start changing very abruptly. But we are into Chapter 4, and we start with a new mission type, which I had to read up on, which is the Secret Chamber mission type, which is going to use these four symbols here. We're getting zombie enemies because the crone is on this floor of the ancient forge somewhere, I guess turning things into zombies. But first, a few people asked for some close-up shots of the three heroes I used painted, and I said, oh, don't worry, I'll cover those in the next painting update video I do, because that's where I do that kind of stuff for models I paint. I filmed the next one already. I forgot to include them because they were on the table here, so I'm going to quickly show some close-ups of these for the people that asked. So here is Forge Warden. Everything I paint I do in contrast, so this is like Basilicanum Grey, Nazdrag Yellow, and Blood Angels Red with wash over the top, non-oil I believe. But nothing fancy, but people wanted to ask some questions. I think I did some edge highlighting on his shield and his sword to make it look like it's like sizzling with energy using standard Citadel paint. I think that was Calgar Blue. Offhand, I might be misremembering. I can look into it if anyone has any specific questions regarding the colours I used. And they're all base coated in Grey Seer. And here is Little Night Feather. This is Wildwood Brown, Leadbelcher Silver, and Black Templar on this guy. Not much to him at all, and just a dot of yellow for his crow eye there, and Leadbelcher on his silver weapons as well. And finally there's Fire Soul, Blood Angels Red again, with a mix of Yandon Yellow and Griffhound Orange, and Flesh Terror Red for her hair. A friend of mine actually painted up his Fire Soul using the Army Painter contrast paint equivalent. I've forgotten what their brand is called offhand. I think it's just Speed Paint. And they came out pretty much similar tiers, I would say. I retweeted it on Twitter if you want to see his effort using those paints. I think the only difference is I did the wash over the top afterwards, whereas I don't think he uses washes. But yeah, that's the three heroes. For those that wanted close-ups, I forgot to put them in the video, I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, and this Basilicanum Grey for her undercloth as well. So, with that out of the way, we can finally start actually beginning Chapter 4, although one last thing. The initial 3 steps on the entrance doorway and the step at the bottom there is actually 2 different zones. I know it doesn't look like it, it's actually supposed to be, so someone doing an explore action when they start would have to move first. So I have been doing that wrong, but in my defense, the zone lines are very hard to see. They definitely should have been made to stand out more. I know they didn't because they wanted it to look more diegetic, and you need to be able to tell where they are. But anyway, when you begin a new chapter, you have to read the blurb. It tells you when you get XP. We can get 4 XP for completing 4 different encounters. If we finish the whole chapter, we get 1 more XP. You go through the challenge aspect deck, the battle aspect deck, and remove the cards they tell you to remove, and put in new ones that they tell you to put in. You also make a new treasure deck. This one had 6 cards. The Chapter 1 treasure deck was only 4. It's a bit like the tension deck in the Resident Evil games that Steamforged do. That kind of evolves as you play. The aspect decks for battle and challenges do so in this as well. But this initial mission type, it involves these 3 symbols, of which I'm already going to mix around, although I've already forgotten which is where. One of them is a trap, one of them is, or sorry, 2 of them are blank, and one of them is a staircase. And we put them on the 4 symbols on the board corners. And again, I have no idea which is where. I'm going to put that one there, that one up the top corner, and let's do this one up here, and this one down there. I can, if I want, just go to the far end of a table like a normal encounter and be done. And then in that case, we go down the normal route for the chapter progression. If I find the staircase that is the hidden passage, we get to go the other route, which, if I quickly bring this back into view, hopefully without dropping it on my miniatures, we get to take, oh, it's not quite in view, hang on. We get to take the blue bar up here, which gives us a different route. Now, the difference is we would do 1 less mission to get to the finale of the chapter, which is bad in a way, but we get much more treasure. there's 5 treasure on offer instead of 1. Oh, sorry, 2 if you count the finale. So I am going to try and find the hidden exit because I want the loot, because I want some upgrades. So that's what we're going to aim to do. The last thing to cover real quick before we begin is some upgrading. Nightfeather is spending the 3 XP he has to upgrade his dex to +3. So he matches the upgrades I did for Fire Soul and Forge Warden. Fire Soul is going to hold on to her 3 XP. I want her to get 5 so that she can level up Conflagration, which makes it, even on a miss, set targets on fire, and that's the one that hits a whole zone, so I think that'd be really good. Forge Warden, I'll be honest, I've forgotten what I wanted to do with Forge Warden, so I'm going to double check while I quickly update Nightfeather's stats, and then we'll start this delve. Alright, things double checked. The thing I want to do with Forge Warden's 3 XP, he is spending it. I'm going to upgrade his Judgment skill, which is the one that costs Fate. So now, the big difference is that if he misses with it, it regenerates Fate, which I think is very handy because my dice rolls a little sketchy. Also, apologies in advance for any coughing or spluttering. I'm still ill, but I wanted to play more, so we are here to play more. I've set the marching order as Forge Warden, Nightfeather and Fire Soul, and with that, let's get started. And unfortunately, we now know that his first action has to be a step left, or step forward, sorry, 1. And then he will do an Explore, and we are in a room, so we are going to have to draw a corridor. I might draw 2 corridors at the same turn, incidentally, because I want to go to different sides. Actually, maybe he should go to one of the sides first. Actually, yeah, because he can move 2, so 1, 2. We'll search right. We'll go to the right side first, and then maybe go left as well, because I want to find that hidden exit. So our first corridor, it has no combat, so it will be a question mark card. Give me 1 moment. Alright, he's in the room. I have to draw challenge card. I've reshuffled the challenge decks, incidentally, and the room and corridor decks, because obviously I have a bunch of new cards in there as well. Here is what we have. Spiderwebs, I believe this is a new one that's been added. Allow me to pull it over here to read the mountain of text. Thick webbing falls from the ceiling. This hero makes a TN14 dex check. Oh, if I'd sent Nightfeather in, this would have been much better. If they pass, discard the card. Well, I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. That's an 8. What did it need? TN14? Yeah, that was a big fail. Something glints nearby as your allies rush to help. Place another hero on the current tile's Bardsung symbol. They make a charisma check. Ah, if I'd sent Nightfeather in, Forge Warden could have helped him. Neither of them have bonuses to their charisma, so it doesn't really matter who I send in. I'll send Nightfeather in to help. He's to go on the Bardsung symbol, and then TN13 charisma. So again, straight roll, no bonus to it. He actually got it. Turn the coon to get the gold was a very bad idea. Place a giant spider on the current tile's Bardsung symbol. Oh yeah, because if they fail the roll, you go to that, place another hero. If they pass, discard the card. Sorry. So yeah, just so to make sure I'm not lying. You follow the arrows as you pass or fail. Failed the first roll, so you go here, you pass, again it says discard. If you'd failed, you get the giant spider. But as it turns out, we just get the 1 gold for passing the challenge, which is good. That puts us up to 7. So that'll be able to be used to refund one of our potions, because ideally we want to get 14 gold this mission to do both. I presume that Nightfeather gets a turn, because he got moved by the challenge card. I'll quickly double check. Alright, as far as I can tell, you do still get a turn. If there is something that says otherwise, please give me a page number. So Nightfeather is going, he will move, and then he will do an explore as well, because why not? We have to get a room because we're in a corridor, and this will probably reveal that first staircase as well. Here's the room card. There is combat, and if I position it like, well, it doesn't really matter, I'll position it like that. So it is going to catch the symbol, so let's just see what the symbol is. Okay, I mean, I didn't know where they are. I actually did find the staircase. We're not going to immediately leave because I want to look around and get some gold, so we'll probably explore in a different direction, but at least we know where the exit is. But I'll get this room set up, and we're going to have to introduce ourselves to zombified enemies. So the room is set up. We have 3 zombie brigands and 1 carrion rat, which as far as I can tell uses the big rat model, because I couldn't see anything that was marked as carrion rat in the front of the rulebook. And Nightfeather has to be here, but then his swift reaction kicks in because he didn't explore, so I'm going to move him back here. Then his turn ends, And we're going to use Back to the Shadows, the trait I bought last time. After spending the normal actions, the hero gets a free move. He's going to go 1, 2 and hide next to Forge Warden because he's scared. That's a lot of enemies. Speaking of which, we'll have to do a new marching order when the turn ends, I believe. So Fire Soul gets a turn, but she's not going to do much. But we can take a look at the 2 new enemies. So Zombie Brigands, they are TN 10, they move 2. They are toughness 3, so they're easier to crit, I think, than the standard ones. They die instead of flipping their card. They're worth 1 gold when they get removed from the marching order. They hit for 1 damage, and they have Lurching Gait. After shuffling the marching order, this enemy suffers slow, so he gets put down a level, because his class is undead, which matters for the raiders. I think they're scared of undead because they're not zombified yet. And then the Carrion Rats, TN 8 to hit. They move 4. They're toughness 5 to crit, so they're hard to crit. They don't get any gold when they die. They hit for 1 damage, and they have Unnerving Presence. Heroes in the same zone as this enemy make defense rolls with disadvantage, and they also don't die. They flip their card, and then they... Oh, is that poison? Yeah, on their flip side they do poison. Also, on their flip side, they attack the whole zone, not just one target. They are scary. Alright. So again, I'm not 100% sure whether or not Fire Soul still gets to end the round, or if a new marching order is immediately done. I guess it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to move her into the fray anyway. At best, she would be on the tile with the 2 gentlemen. So, sure, we'll just say the round is ended, so we can actually get started with a proper brawl. Now, depending on how bad this goes, you'll just have to take my word that I'm shuffling without looking. At least we have the stairs there, but I want to earn more gold. Ideally. Oh, sorry, we also need to draw a challenge card before I forget, but let's see the marching order first, because it might apply before I actually do this. I'm looking away and I'm stopping there. The Carrion, all the enemies are going first. Carrion Rat, Zombie Brigands, Fire Soul, Forge Warden, Night Feather. Not an ideal round order, honestly. But, challenge card before I forget. Corpse Gas, oh lovely. The undead here are bloated and vile, their skin blotchy and sore. Place 3 timer tokens on this card. When an undead enemy is defeated, discard a token, then each model in the defeated enemy's zone suffers poison. If there's no tokens to discard, discard this card instead. So for 3 turns, they fart when they die. Lovely. Alright, I double checked, put the 3 timer tokens on the Corpse Gas card and put it there to remind me. Also did forget the Zombie Brigands have slow, so they're moving 1 down the marching order, so it's actually the Carrion Rat, then Fire Soul, then the Zombies, then Forge Warden, then Night Feather. I also checked what poison does. You get given the poison token, during which time you also take a wound, and you keep the poison token until you rest. So it's annoying to get rid of, and much worse than Ember, but we only have 1 ranged person, so that's going to be a problem. Anyway, the Carrion Rat is just using the Ferocious AI, so it's going to try and do a charge. It's in this square, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, yeah, it can get to them. 4, and again I'm house ruling that if there's multiple targets on the same square, I'm choosing the target. So, attacking Forge Warden with a TN of 8, he is +3 to this roll. So he is fine, because that's a 20. No damage done. Unfortunately, is it the whole tile that gets the gas? Oh, it is. Although I don't think it's going to die immediately, because it's got 4 health. Well, Fire Soul will back off to avoid the poison, and then as her other action, chuck a fireball to try and do 2 wounds. So, TN of 8, but she is +3 to this roll. 6, 7, 8, 9, she did it. Did she crit? She needs a 5 or a 6. Absolutely not. So that's just 1 wound. Like that. Then the Zombie Brigands go. They only move 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They are not getting to attack this turn. Forge Warden will strike out against the rat with his... maybe I should use Judgment now that I've upgraded it. It costs Fate, but if he misses, he'll get the Fate back. So why not? He also gets the Fate if it crits. So it would do upgrade the damage for 1 for each additional enemy, so no, it's just a straight hit. He hits. Does it crit? It absolutely does, so he gets the Fate back immediately and hits for 2 damage. So the Carrion Rat is flipping its card and then takes another wound, so he's 1 away. And then for his other action, he'll Mechanica Strike. Oh, but if he kills it... If he kills it, it'll fart on him. I could trust in Night Feather, and oh no, if I back off he gets an attack of opportunity though. If one of my people gets poisoned, I'm gonna have to rest regardless, so I guess it doesn't matter if a bunch of them are poisoned. He'll do the Mechanica Strike. That's another 20. It doesn't matter if it crits, but does it crit? Nope. But that is going to kill him. But the rat is going to send his regards as he leaves. He doesn't give any gold. Oh no, sorry, he does. He gives 2 on his flip side. So that is 2 more gold. So we're up to 9 now, I think. Just get that looked out. But he, pardon the pun, he spreads a little bit of poison on his way out. I'm going to have to look out the poison tokens because it's going to affect Night Feather and Forge Warden. Give me 1 second. Alright, so 1 poison for him, 1 poison for Forge Warden, and that means they suffer 1 wound each. But it is actually worse than I was thinking because I reread it, and you keep the poison tokens until you rest, and when you receive a new one, you receive damage equal to the number of tokens you have. That means if they get damaged again, they're taking 2 wounds if they're poisoned. So for Night Feather's turn, he does not want to engage with, well, in close range, with the Zombie Brigand because he doesn't want his poison to get worse. He could kill it with a throwing knife crit. He'll chuck a throwing knife. It's good enough on its own, even without the +3. Needs a crit though, which is a 3+. Good enough. He crits. The crit for throwing knife, when it's up, well, it's not even upgraded, is 2 wounds. That brigand is down. Pops in that zone there, but thankfully none of my team is in it. Then, for his other action, he can't see them because they're around the corner. I guess he'll just end his turn. He gets a free move when he ends his turn, and he'll move back here. I'll put the poison on his card as well, on his bar. We'll do the same with that one. And then unfortunately we do need to roll to see if the Echo Token arrives, because there's 3 squares, and it absolutely does. And I believe that means that we instantly get engaged because we're in the staircase where it just popped in. The deck is basically the same as in the first one. I still included the wolves because they are allowed to be in chapter 4 as well. There's a couple of other cards. This is the deck. I'm just going to shuffle, and then we're going to roll a d6 and take the corresponding card. I'm re-rolling a 6 because I think there's only 5 cards in here. 3. 1, 2, 3. It's the wolf pack from the stretch goals. Again, we could have had something much cooler looking, but that's okay. Alright, well, that means we have a new threat. I still have the miniature here. Roar, and they are here. And we're at the end of the round, so it's, pardon me, time to shuffle the deck. Shuffling for initiative in the marching order. I am looking away, and we're going to say that is good. There. Oh dear. Okay, the zombie brigands go first, then the wolf pack. This is no, actually no, because the zombie brigands then go slow, so it's actually the wolf pack first, then them, then Forge Warden, Night Feather, Fire Soul. That's less than ideal, is what that is. So the wolf pack, they are also ferocious, right? Yeah, so they're going to go onto the tile with these 2. I'm just going to count that as 1 tile because otherwise I cannot fit them in. Oops. Like this. And I'll make them attack Fire Soul because she's unwounded. She doesn't get any plus to this, so it's a straight up roll against a TN of 12. Nope, that is her first wound. Maybe it's a good thing I found the stairs right away because we're in a lot of trouble here. Then the zombie brigands, they're both going to charge Forge Warden and smack him. 2 defense rolls. Oh, isn't there a minus to this? No, that was the special roll on the rat. When he was only on his healthy side as well. Might as well just roll both. +3s. 10 and a 1. So he does take another wound. Arg. That is not good. So that's 2 wounds on Forge Warden. He's still poisoned. And it is Forge Warden's turn, so he's immediately going to use Judgment. So he's spending a Fate token again. He gets +1 damage die per enemy on the tile, but he has to hit +3. 9, 10, 11, 12. He does hit, so D6 becomes a D8. That's a D12. D8. Yes. No, that's a D10. Is there a D8 or does it go straight to D10? There. I'm being blind. There's a D8. Damage roll. A 3. That is still a crit. So on a crit with Judgment, 2 wounds plus Fate replenished. Unfortunately, that's his second poison token, which means he takes another one, because he already has 1. So that means that's 4 damage on him in total. 1 more and he would go down. We have 1 potion to save him. I can't... what can you do? Because if he tries to get away, he'll get attack of opportunity and probably get killed anyway. I guess I might as well eat it and lose the last potion. So yeah, he'll use the Mechanica Strike on the Brigand. He gets him. Is it a crit? Yes, it is. It doesn't kill him, actually. He only does 1 wound. So there we are. Oh yeah, I did remember to take a timer off the card, but it's not going to matter because the last enemy that's affected by it is going to die in a second. Nightfeather gets to go. I don't think there's any way to avoid Ford Warden getting killed. Well, I guess there is. If they both focus on the wolf pack, the Brigand might not kill him when he makes a defense roll against the attack that's inevitably going to hit him. Ford Warden can try and get away, hopefully dodge an attack again, and then one of the other 2 can range attack and try and kill him. It's the only way to keep him from dying. He does have a reroll thanks to that upgrade on his shield. Yeah, sure, I guess. Well, in that case, Nightfeather will Piercing Strike the wolves. That's a hit. My hit rolls have been fantastic today for a change. Is it a crit? What does it need to be a crit? 5+, so no it is not. Which means he's only allowed to move. He'll move over here. And then he will chuck a throwing knife for a fate. That rolled off camera, I think. No, it's on camera. 6, 7, 8, 9. Not good enough. And then for Fire Soul, she'll do her usual 1-2 special. She'll Ember and then Fireball. Ember misses. Fireball. Good enough. Is it a crit? We want a crit. No. And a crit? No. So it's just 1 wound. 1 wound. I don't believe... Actually, maybe we do roll for an Echo Token. No, probably not while we're fighting an Echo Token Wandering Monster. End of turn, though. That ticks down. Thankfully. 1 more turn of them being very gassy. And it's not looking very good, is it? Alright, here we go then. I am looking away. We are shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We're going to put our... Zombie Brigand is going to go, but actually no, he's not. Ford Warden is, because the Zombie Brigand slow kicks in. Then the Wolfpack, Nightfeather, Fire Soul. Not an ideal order at all. Alright, Ford Warden is going to try and move away, which means he gets attacked, and I believe he defends at disadvantage. But he still gets +3 to these rolls, but it's pick the worst. Which would be an 11, which becomes a 14, so he is actually fine. He's going to go 1, 2, and run away from the farting Brigand. Who is then going to activate. It's equidistant between Fire Soul and him. But, oh no, but he's higher up on the march. Hang on, I'm not going to move him that way then. I'm going to move him onto this tile. Because otherwise they're equidistant and he's higher up on the marching order, so we just chase after him and he can reach him. Which is no good. Although this way, Fire Soul's going to get smacked. Oh no, but it affects the whole tile anyway, so what does it matter? Arg! Okay, never mind, I'll just move him there and end his turn with an action doing nothing. Zombie Brigands activate. It goes after him. It's hitting him. Does he block it? He does, so he's still alive. And if we can outlast this turn, it won't matter. We'll just have to hope that he passes his defense roll with a reroll. Alright, the Wolfpack is smacking Fire Soul. 11 is not good enough. He is to 12. That's her second wound. That's the safest outcome, honestly. Okay, this is getting bad. Let's start with a taunt from Nightfeather. Nope. Let's chuck a throwing knife for 1 fate. 13, that's good enough. Does a crit on a 5 or a 6? No. But it does 1 wound, which means he's flipping his card. Actually, does he flip his card? Oh, he doesn't. He is just dead. Perfect. Doesn't offer any gold whatsoever. When this enemy is defeated, activate the Echo Token. So that means the Echo Token would immediately appear and immediately become something else. I'm not going to do that because that doesn't seem fair. So we'll just remove him for now. It's already a detriment that he doesn't even give anything for killing him. And then Fire Soul, she is doing nothing with her turn because we can't kill the Brigand this turn. Event roll. It might appear anyway. I rolled a 1. Fine. Okay, fine. It's going to be one of those kind of things, is it? There's only 4 cards left in the deck. This is going to kill me. Like, this is definitely going to kill me, whatever comes out here. Okay, so let's just go with this order. Ideally we want a 3 or a 4. We got a 4, which would be this one. Oh, thank goodness. Overactive Imagination. Discard this card. We're in with a shot. So, the zombie is no longer gassy, so that corpse gas is gone. We don't get any gold for it. But he's still alive, and if he goes before Forge Warden, you could just take him out. We're looking away. Stop. Okay, Night Feather, Forge Warden, and then the zombie's actually going last because his slow kicks in. That's good. Okay. Well, Night Feather will move. He moves 3 for a move action, so 1, 2, 3 onto the tile. Knife him. Good enough. Is it a crit? Yes, it is, which does damage, thankfully. So the last Brigand is down. We earn 1 paltry gold for that. 1 single gold coin. And that does take us up to 10 in total. Now, I was just going to continue exploring. We kind of got our butts kicked there, and I've technically already cheated by not activating the Echo Token. Would have mattered. Okay, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, so never mind. Actually, no, it says activate, it doesn't say roll, right? Where's that card for the giant wolf? Wolf pack. When this enemy is defeated, activate the token. Yeah, it does. You don't even roll, so it would immediately spawn something. Oh wait, no, I did draw a card, didn't I? It was overactive imagination. Never mind. So I haven't cheated. I wanted to though, because that's just ridiculously unfair. I think someone mentioned that these initial chamber doors are closable. I couldn't find anything that says that, and I watched the official playthrough and they didn't do that either. I think. But this is the old playthrough though. They're apparently doing a new one. So we'll get our answers then, hopefully, going forwards. Anywho, that was his 2 actions. Forge Warden, he is hurt. We could do the camping mechanic actually. Because it doesn't say that poison goes between, or is removed between encounters. So we'll skip to Fire Soul's turn. She'll walk onto the same tile as them. There's no enemies. Let me look out the rows and we'll read how camping works. Alright, so here we are with how resting and checkpoints work. It's page 33 of the rulebook. If all the heroes are in the same area and there's no enemies in that area, the heroes can spend 1 firewood token to rest at any time. Fire Soul's doing that during her turn, so that's 1 campfire gone of the 3 we started with. When the heroes rest, they choose a tile in the current area, which is all 3 because they're connected currently, and are each placed on that tile in a zone of their choice. Place the spent firewood token on the tile's Bardsung symbol showing the active face. I'm not going to do that because we're probably going to end early. They're all going to be there. Each hero then heals a wound and the round ends. So they all heal a wound and then also poison goes away. So the 1 wound on Night Feather's gone. Forge Warden is down to 3 and Fire Soul is down to 1. But that's still too risky for my blood, with our tank being 2 away from death, but at least their poison is gone. But we'll read on because I believe that creates a checkpoint. If you had if I'd taken the fire that we just spent and put it here, but again, we're about to leave I think, because this is harder than I thought it was. If there is 1 or more active fire tokens on the playing hero and a hero is defeated, and the hero would be defeated if you don't have any potions to save them at the point they would die, instead of failing the encounter, the heroes can use 1 of the active tokens as a checkpoint. You flip it to its done side, you spawn there, enemies come back. It's kind of like the Dark Souls board game. Remove all tiles that don't connect to the hero's tile to the entrance, along with enemies, tokens, aspect cards. Heroes do not earn gold for removing enemies from the marching order in this way. They then shuffle the marching order and begin a new round, exploring into the unknown once more. So I guess the floor layout does actually change, so it's not quite the same as a Dark Souls game where everything remains the same if you die. So yeah, you randomise everything again. Hopefully we'll never have to see that mechanic. We do have to end a round though. And there is no echo token. And I'm just gonna leave, I think, because we're too wounded. Yeah, I was not prepared for the jump in difficulty, so we're gonna leave the dungeon here. We get 1 XP for finishing the encounter, which matters, I guess. That means Fire Soul is 1 away from what I want to spend it on. We have 10 gold. I'm spending 7 of it to replenish 1 potion, so we have 2 over 3 now. Everybody will heal to full. We didn't get any loot. We did find the secret passage though, that's how we're leaving. So because we found the secret passage, we go from 4A to 4E. There is no narration to read until we finish 4E, but there is a chance at treasure next time, and it's just your standard crawl, going from the south of the board to the north of the board. So a bit of a shorter one, I think, but honestly my voice kind of needs that because I'm recovering from an illness at the moment. So yeah, I was ready to explore fully, and then I underestimated the jump in difficulty for the zombie enemies and them being poison centric. I was not ready for the poison mechanic and how bad that can quickly build up. We just kind of got unlucky with that event, of course, but that's what happens when you have a random event deck. So yeah, the heroes take the hidden entrance. That means we're going to do 1 less mission in this chapter. That means we're going to get less narration as well. There's a bit of narration in the left side of this level guide that you do not read if you go the route with the secret passageway. That could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. I've got no idea because I don't know what it says. And it's a different way for you to play if you choose not to take the hidden passage or you just don't find it. So with that, next time 4E. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Ta-ra for now.